So as I walk on the beach here in Antibes, centre of Antibes is just there, the old buildings and the port. I'm about to walk round Cap d'Antibes. It starts just here behind me, and this is one of the most exclusive parts of not just France, but probably the world. You have to be a millionaire at least to live here. And on the other side of this cap is Billionaires Row. So as we begin to walk round the Bay of Antibes, as what is often referred to as the Bay of Billionaires, stretches back, enticing the wealthy since the 19th century, when King Leopold II of Belgium, and of course that infamous name you've probably all heard of, the Rothschilds, started to make some of these and put some of these expensive villas that you see here behind me. There's no doubt that I think most of us in life would love to live here, as well as King Leopold back in the day and the Rothschild family. And of course today it's a big spot for many Russian billionaires. Russians have been coming here for a long time, not quite as long as the 19th century, but pretty much, you know, swayed by this fantastic rocky outcrop here, and its perfect location here on the French Riviera. I mean, as we just go past this little section of shrubbery, I mean, just look at the views that you're going to get here. The Mediterranean Sea, the French and Italian Alps merging, Italy beyond the bay, this beautiful rocky outcrops here, the trees, the shrubbery. I mean, yeah, we could all dream of living here, that's for sure. Here behind me is Maison de Bacon, a rather very exclusive restaurant here as we go round the tip of Cap d'Antibes. And yeah, you don't have to be an expert to just look at it and think it's probably going to cost a lot of money, and of course way out of someone like my budget. But I just had a look on Google, and even on the reviews it's 4.3, so there's even wealthy people out there who complain now and again. But I just had a little look, and most of the menu, there's no price, which I always think is a disaster, because you know you're just going to get ripped off. But just for some standard pasta was €48, and then you could get a selection of pate for €100. I mean, how much pate are you getting for €100? I don't know, don't sound cheap to me. This is slightly surprising. A bus stop. I didn't think billionaires would be needing to catch the bus, but maybe the workers who come and do jobs here might have to get a bus here. Some guy here is doing a bit of work on his door. Can't imagine it's actually the guy though, can you? Oh, you never know. Some want to get their hands dirty, some have made their own money. Not everyone is born into it, but I can imagine quite a few of the folk living here are definitely born into the money. But you know, fair play to those who've made it. And I mean, just look at some of these gaffs here now, coming up now. Absolutely epic gaffs here. And as a tree guy, as an arborist, would love to work on some of these trees here. This is such a nice little villa, this one here. Behind, quite a new modern architectural one. But like I say, it's always the way with expensive areas of the world. You know, you want to be surrounded by trees, you want the shade, especially at this part of the world, you know, and you need them to be looked after. And they do look pretty well looked after, a lot of these trees, so there's obviously someone here doing the tree work. I mean, just looking up at this one here, I mean, I can't even see any dead wood in it. So, and there's some cuts on it as well. So someone's got a pretty nice tree contract here, because this would be an unbelievable place to do tree work. So I'm just looking at this section of villas here. There's quite a few small villas here, basically within a bit of a pine forest. And I've just been stood here having a study. And like pine trees, they've always got dead wood in, but they're absolutely clean as anything. So I'm a little bit jealous of the arborist who's working here, because what a fantastic job to be doing. I mean, yeah, I'm probably never going to afford to ever live in a place like this, but I worked on some very exclusive properties, palaces and stuff in my life across the world, and to be here would be pretty nice, because just like royal palaces and stuff that I've worked on in Sweden, or some of the most expensive properties in Sydney, Australia, when you work at a property like this and you're next to the sea, you can go and have a dip at lunchtime, and that's living. Another interesting thing that I've noticed is, so this gate's open, and I noticed the shutter windows are open, and then the next property here, I saw some people up on the second floor there wandering around, but they're working. It's quite interesting that pretty much everywhere else, okay, maybe they went to work this morning at 9 AM and they've shut all the windows, but kind of get the impression that no one really lives here at this time of the year. You know, like the only properties, like I said, where there's people about enjoying life, but they're not, are they? It's people who are at work. Because here, for example, the next house, all the shutters are down on the windows, and the next one, all the shutters are down. And like I said, I noticed these two properties. First one, you can see they're up there painting and plastering, but the property behind, you couldn't really tell. So it's interesting, isn't it? You know, one of the most amazing parts of the world, absolutely incredible. And it's just like nobody's here. They probably just come for summer. I mean, what a waste. If you got all that money, why are you just not enjoying life? Just to hammer down my point about no one being here. Again, that property's got someone in, but look, it's just a load of work vans. You know, I know it well. I work out of a van myself sometimes. A lot of my mates do. Absolute classic tradey thing, innit? But then boom, the next property, shutters down. The next property over here, shutter down. And here we have Hotel Imperial Garup open, but probably not even open for business, because again, it's just traders in there, it's just workers, and it's just a bit mad. It's just a bit mad to me. I mean, whoa, look at this gaff in here, unbelievable. I guess maybe I didn't get the memo that this time of year is just when all the work gets done. And maybe because I don't live here, I'm not a billionaire, multi-millionaire, I don't realise that nobody's here, because it just feels like one big construction site, to be honest. At the moment it's quite weird. I was expecting to be blown away by some of these properties, villas, you know, stuff that you can only dream of living in. But actually, to be honest, all I'm hearing is power tools and people ripping up flags of concrete and drilling, diggers, you know. And as a tree surgeon, I've seen a few chainsaws. I've not seen anyone in a tree yet, but yeah, like I said before, I'd love to work here, it'd be epic, some amazing trees. And I guess there's all this work, grounds works, other jobs that quite a few of my mates do. They'd be absolutely loving it here. Like, here we are, someone on the dump truck here. So basically, I think in the winter months, don't come to Billionaires Bay, because it's basically just a tradie site. Like, in fact, it's probably the the tradies' dream. Winter in the Bay of Billionaires. Come here as a tradie. I mean, this is more for tradies, this. Absolute best job you can get. I mean, these lads pumping away, I'm not quite sure if they're working on a hotel or a restaurant or what here. But you know, get out into the sea at lunch, lads. As you can see, I've now come onto a path off the road, so maybe we're not going to see quite as much construction, and thankfully not here as much construction work going on. This is Sentier de Littoral, so this now sticks more to the coastline as we go around the southern tip of it. So here's a map of the route that we're doing. We're coming round here and we're now here, so we're going to go around this southern tip here, and as you can see, this is probably where the millionaires are, where the construction is, and then this is now the billionaires, and it's a protected area, so they can't enforce it for themselves, I guess. And yeah, we're going to stick with the coast and follow this path round. So as we now come really to the south bit of Cap d'Antibes, it really does just cling to the coast. So we have the private walls of some huge property behind, or many properties maybe, to keep us peasants out. But just a bit of a fence put in here on the Sentier de Littoral. And yeah, what a walk. I mean, this part now is absolutely fantastic. You know, now you can really see these rocky outcrops out to the Mediterranean, and you can see now it's getting a little bit busy, or I've hit a few groups, you know, as we cling around the coast here. Absolutely amazing on a day like today. Not a cloud in the sky. Check out this section now, this nice little path, and then looking across to some unbelievable villas. A couple of ladies out on a paddleboard there, supboard. Nice scaffs up here. Wow, what a walk. Welcome to Billionaires Bay on the southern tip of Cap d'Antibes. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning, even for people who don't have a billion in the bank. Quite interestingly, you kind of come up from that bay and it's like a fence, and there's obviously some unbelievable gaff there. Looks like there's a mum and two kids playing outside in the sun, so at least there's somebody living down here. That's the first people I've seen that actually are down here living. I mean, just look at this little cactus garden they've got at the bottom. Awesome. And you get a bit of a look at the house. Trampolines, like some old Greco mansion. Just someone coming through. Hey, bonjour. Wow. And then we come around the bay here. Hey. And yeah, now you get an idea why it's called Billionaires Bay. Check out the beach then down here. Absolutely amazing, stunning gaff, and quite surprising really, isn't it, because we've obviously got these absolute humongous millionaire houses behind, but because it's a protected area, there's a walking path here and you can actually come down to it, which I think is pretty awesome. Because most places like this in the world, you just find that they're blocked off and they've been privatised. But here, yeah, literally anyone from Joe Public, including you, after watching this, can come down here and come to this spot, Billionaires Bay, and it's free. You don't even need a billion. Totally free. So to reach the actual southern point where Cap Ferry, or the lighthouse is, ferry I think is the French word for lighthouse, but I might be wrong. You come round Billionaires Bay there, and then you come up on this road a little bit, and then we connect, and then we go back down. So obviously this side, the bay's blocked off, so these are the big dons living in here. They actually don't have a sentier literal walking path going along. You kind of come up here, so these lot aren't disturbed. So Serenader, for example, here, they're going to be right down to the water and there's no path going along. I mean, did you see, probably can't tell on a phone, but I mean the amount of space you have there just to garden, and then you think the square footage for a place like this. It's one thing owning a property, you know, in a cheaper country somewhere else where there's acres of land inland, but Antibes is already one of the most famous wealthy places in the world. So you think when you own so much square footage of land in an incredible wealthy area of the French Riviera, you can't even imagine the millions that this property, for example, will cost. I mean, this is all one property at the minute. I've just been walking around it for 2 minutes. Insane. Well, the road that leads round here down to the lighthouse, that's the Sentier Littoral that I've just come out. So we're going to go down there towards the lighthouse. But I just spotted a Christie's. So let's have a look at how much damage your wallet's going to take in this area. So here's one right on the water. Just a cool 24.5 million euro. Here's a cheaper one, but that's inside the island, not at the sea. 3.2 million, 4.5 million, 8 million. So that 24.5 one was a fair one, wasn't it? Wow, check this one out, 13.9 million. Absolute gaff. Oh, look at this one, 19 million, but it's not even by the sea. I guess for people buying these properties, they don't really care. But for example, some of them that are like 3.2 million. But if it's 3.2 million and you're not next to the sea in an area like this, what's the point? I mean, you could just go and buy something somewhere else for a lot less next to the sea, but I guess these people earn that much money that that's not even a problem, is it? You know, I guess it's the way that you look at money. Money's looked at by all of us differently, of course. For me, you suddenly gave me 3.2 million, even though everything is getting very expensive now. You know, like a million 10 years ago is probably like 10 million in today's money, because that's just how quick it changes. But you give me 3.2 million, probably go somewhere in Asia or Thailand and find an absolute unbelievable gaff. Okay, there's some different laws there, you might need to have a Thai wife or something, but maybe somewhere else, Croatia, you know, and you find yourself somewhere where you don't need to be inland, you know. I think, you know, some of them gas there, like the really amazing one, I think the only one there that was by the sea, 24.5 million euros. 24.5 million euros. I mean, it's just a mind-blowing, staggering amount of cash, isn't it? 24.5 million euro. But, you know, there's probably more. That's just the ones in the window. You know, you probably go inside and they've got gas for 80 million or something. And the one that I just walked past before, that probably is in 80 million or more. I mean, the size of it was absolutely ginormous. The amount of hectares, probably a couple of hectares from it. And that's, you know, unbelievable garden. Down along the waterfront, you know, in an area, one of the most extremely wealthy areas of the world. I mean, this might even be the entrance to that place, because I didn't really see a gate down the other side. But yeah, this is a mind-blowing place. Proper staggering gas round here. But, you know, like I say, I'm here and I've got no cash, and you can still enjoy it. And I'm still struggling to see a cloud in the sky today. Amazing. Welcome to Hotel du Cap, and it looks very exclusive, but it's not even open. It's that fancy. It has a season opening and it doesn't open till April 18th. But it's not like it's snowing here. It's not like this is proper winter. So maybe it's just because it's that fancy they can afford to work on it during the summer months. So I tried to have a look online, Google, no prices. So I went on the website directly, no prices, and you go on to the rooms and you contact them directly. So make your own mind up, but you can only imagine that in this place here, right on the southern tip of Cap d'Antibes, must be probably something like, I don't know, maybe it's into the tens of thousands, 20, 30,000 or more per night, probably more than I earn in a year. This is Phare, Cap d'Antibes, the lighthouse of Cap Antibes, and it's actually privately owned. You kind of come down, I use Google to just check, but yeah, all this part, I thought you'd be able to come down here to the sea, so it's no wonder no one else is coming down here. Yeah, Cap d'Antibes lighthouse, but some lucky person owns it to themselves. I wonder what kind of a sunspot it was up there. So yeah, it's just like a secluded cove of wall. Oh, there's a couple of other people who are about to be disappointed. Something I didn't expect to see out here in Billionaires Bay is Uber Eats delivery. I just seen him go past. He's just pulled in like 100 meters up there. So obviously somebody's ordered something. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have thought, I wouldn't have thought anyway, that these kind of nice restaurants here would do delivery, but why not, I guess. So even here, the creme de la creme of unbelievable villas, Uber Eats still delivers. Good to know. As I follow the coastal path around the west side of the Cap d'Antibes, you can see that it's a lot more open on this side. There's a lot more free public beaches, and as you can see, there's quite a few people enjoying them. And there's this kind of cool thing here, it's kind of eroded away from the land, but look at this spot. What an awesome spot, what an awesome walk. Unbelievable, France. So this is the 5-star Belle Rives hotel behind me, but just had a look on Google, slammed 3.8. You know, like restaurants, hotels under 4, sorry. Obviously 5 is amazing, but under 4, something's going wrong, innit? What's going on here, Bellries? So I just had a look for a night in May. One night for 2, €450. Lot of dough that I can't afford, but it's always interesting to have a look. But like I say, quite interesting there. You know, you think usually when it's these 5-star gaffs, you know, they're always like 4.9, 4.7. Not many people are slamming them, but it looks like people are not too happy with Hotel Reeves. Definitely much deserved coffee stop en route back to Antibes. So as I'm pretty much just going back to Antibes, might be an idea if you've got no provisions, munchies or anything like that with you, then you can always come the west way round the Cop. So opposite to what I've done, I've come along the bay and then done the east side, and yeah, there's no shops or anything like that. So if you're wanting or you don't have anything, then you can come this way, the west way. Plenty of restaurants, cafes to pick up sandwiches, quiches, anything like that, pizza, whatever you want. Of course, this is Antibes. It's not going to be cheap. You probably want to come from somewhere else anyway. But yeah, it's just an option if that's what you want, you know. Otherwise, my way is pretty nice, straight from the fort along the coastline and then round the Bay of Billionaires, and then you come in this way. It's a bit more commercial, built up back into Antibes, and that's the route. As we stroll past some of these gigantic yachts, houseboats, whatever you want to call them, here in the port of Antibes, that is Billionaires Bay. A wander around Cap d'Antibes and some of the most wealthy real estate in the world, but also some of the most amazing countryside and beaches as well.